He just made a movie for $20,000, feature film.
I filmed my first episodes of General Hospital 3 weeks before the world shut down. And I shot it, and there was producers that knew me, and they checked it out. They're like, this is horrible. You can give me a billion no's. I'm just gonna wait for the next answer. If someone tells me no, it's not no, you can't do this. It's no, I don't. They don't want to do this, not me. The casting director tells me I'm not right for the role. They don't think I'm right for the role. I personally think this would work greater. As an artist, you're gonna be in love with your own work.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm never gonna say to myself, like, well, I think it's good, so how could you not? Like, that's crazy. An amazing actor takes all the pressure off of you. You have to almost be in love with the, am I gonna make it? Instead of just like getting in my room and what's in my head, what's in my heart that I want to express. When the cameras shut off and everyone walked away and everyone went home and stayed inside, like, no, I want to keep doing stuff. I want to keep expressing myself.
Hi, and welcome back to my Be the Train podcast. I'm super, super excited for my guest today. He's actually a very good friend of mine, and he was in the first feature film that we ever made called The Best People. So it's a very exciting, like 180 moment here because he just directed a feature himself. So he's a director and an actor. His name is Kyle Trueblood. And he just made a movie for $20,000, feature film. And I am so excited to deep dive into this and to learn about his journey. So welcome, Kyle.
Hi. Thank you for having me so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yay. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you.
So and tell us if there's anything else that I've missed out there in your intro.
Oh, no, nothing was missed in the intro. It's been a very big journey, a very long journey, and the directing is, of course, what's happening right now. Got Teddy, my all-time friend.
Yes, Teddy has entered the chat.
Yeah, I love that you started with the fact that we're all-time friends and the best people.
Yeah.
And all that, and complete 180 to now being a director. It's been a journey, and I love. Yeah.
Well, we'll deep dive into all of it. So, the first question I always like to ask, which I always start this podcast with, is what does Be the Train mean to you?
Yes, that's a great. I love that. I love the title. Actually, I love Be the Train. And for artists, let me just say that when you hear that as an artist, beginning or veteran, it kind of instills a sense of okay, trustworthiness within yourself. That's right. That's right. I have to be the train. And every artist knows that in a sense. And what it means to me is make something. Honestly, simply put, simplicity is genius. Be the train, make something. You don't really have to. We get in our way. We're like, oh, I want to be big. I want this to happen. I want that to happen for me. But at the end of the day, you look at it, you're like, well, I'm really just asking for everyone else's approval.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of just getting in my room and what's in my head, what's in my heart that I want to express. And it brings it back to the love for yourself, the respect for yourself. And ultimately that allows you to express yourself in a really, really honest way. And now you're the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, no, you're the train.
Yeah. I didn't.
And I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Tell me, let's start a little bit. Let's go a little backwards. So when I first met you, you were an actor.
Yes.
And that was more what you were doing.
Yes.
So how did you shift into directing? How did that come about? And then we'll get more into this specific project.
Of course. Well, I mean, when we met, I was never even considering being a director.
Yeah.
I was just really involved in acting and so, just enamored by the entire process. To be honest, the pandemic.
Interesting. What happened?
Well, when you're the train, right? When you're being the train,
Yeah.
you're expressing yourself, and I'm going to keep coming back to this expression of self because when the cameras shut off and everyone walked away and everyone went home and stayed inside, no, I want to keep doing stuff. I want to keep expressing myself. And listen, I'm not the only person. I'm sure everyone in the beginning of 2020 had a great momentum going. We were all just getting to that next stage. I think the Olympics were in 2020 as well. I'm sure there was a ton of people who were ready to show their talents. I filmed my first episodes of General Hospital 3 weeks before the world shut down.
Wow.
I got a movie agent 2 months before the world shut down.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I did a play in October of 2019. The casting director of General Hospital saw it, called me 2 months later, booked me in it. My movie agent was like, "I want to book you," and then I'm like, "Oh, we're doing like."
You're like, this is it. This is my
it.
moment.
This is
It's
how it
all
happened.
happening
It's
now.
all coming together. Fun,
Oh,
and
man.
this is 6.5 years of hard work that got me to this point.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's the thing. No one sees the 7 years before that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get to this one point, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you know. But it's like this is a lot of foundational work that was put into it. So finally, and then they get on the news like, by the way, the world's shutting down, guys. So just take your little careers and put them on the back seat, hop in bed. We'll let you know when you can come out. And it was like, whoa, like. So I just started making my own stuff. I wrote my own stuff and started shooting it, and I got a lot of, and part of being the train, and I'm not trying to like make it all about the title, but it's true. Like, uh, part of being the train is getting the nose, and it's still going forward.
Yeah.
It's not all about just like motivating yourself in the shower and then going out there and just being busy. You're gonna get a lot of those. A lot of,
I know it well.
Yeah. And I don't mean like an advisory no. I mean like a no, like no, you may not do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh hey, I have like in order to like move forward in my career, I have to do this. You may not.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't accept that. And so that's kind of what a train is as well. And so when the world shut down, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shoot my own stuff. And I shot it, and there was producers that knew me, and they checked it out. They're like, "This is horrible."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." And
Thank you, by the way, for the honesty.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. They're like,
Because I feel like, let's just pause right there. I think
Yeah.
we've all had moments
yeah,
where we show something to someone,
right.
and that person's like, well,
You sure?
you did that. You got up there and you did that, girl.
Good
and
for
that
you.
was you.
Ex-
And you were just up there. And,
you-
there you were.
and then-
Because they
and
don't
now
know
you're
what
here.
to say. And they're not just saying, you're like, are you just saying I suck?
Yeah, like, and that's another like, oh my gosh. I mean, we there's gonna be like a whole like season done on just the notion and concept of being the train for yourself. I mean, even the Duplass brothers are like are saying, paraphrasing in a way of the same thing, because everyone that makes true art understands like it's not in the real world. You don't just get to make it. There's just too many people telling you no. There's too many ways to mess it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're showing it, and this is still 2020. It's Kyle. This is not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what would you say? What would you say in a moment like that when someone's like, Kyle, this is not good?
Okay.
Because I'm sure a lot of people have gotten this feedback. And so
Right.
what are you supposed to say? And also, like, do you agree with them or do you not agree with them?
100%. That's a great question, actually, because I totally agree.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Okay.
I say, as an artist, you're going to be in love with your own work.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm never going to say to myself, like, well, I think it's good, so how would you not? Like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
your whole point is to express yourself to someone else, communicate on a higher level. So why would you just, it's enough to kind of come from your own perspective. Like, whatever your feedback is
Yeah.
really where you're at.
So you agree when someone was like, this sucks. You were like, you know what? I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
And I'll get back to that point in a second, but like at the end of the day, he knew what he was talking about. He was a guy in a position that kind of makes these calls.
Yeah.
He was a producer, a buyer as well. So I was like, okay, but what I really wanted to get to is that like I have this about me, and I hope other people, everyone has this part of it themselves, I believe. When I get a no, I just go, okay, and then just do it again.
Yeah.
I don't give it any space to be like, oh, should I have done that?
Yeah.
Am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Am I ever going to be good at this? Like, how do I do this the right way? I don't do any of that. I'm just like, okay. And I just do it again.
Yeah.
And they just told you what you did wrong. So just do it different this time.
Yeah.
Like if it's just a no, ask a question, and anyone telling you no, honestly, at least they're telling you no.
So let me ask you a question. What's a good question to ask them? So let's say someone's like,
Sure.
this sucks.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh God, okay, so now let me look at myself.
100%.
I'm going to do it again,
100%.
which I agree with you, by the way. I think that's exactly the right advice. It's like you just get up and you do it again.
Gone.
But what's a good question then before you do it again?
That's a tricky one because you got to be careful. Any producer, any director, any writer out there knows this. You ask for advice, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And usually that person is gonna take a lot of space to give you a lot of advice. It's gonna be like literally opposite to what you're trying to do. They're gonna miss a lot of points, a lot of expressions that you're trying to make. So you're gonna understand, like, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. I may not listen, I may not actually follow what they're saying, but at least hear them out and understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
So was it what I asked them or what do I do? What I'm asking them usually is constructive. So in this instance, he specifically said, it was like, it's bad. He was like, your DP should be your right hand man. It wasn't good. And I was like, okay, so I'll get another DP.
Yeah.
I'll talk to my DP.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to replace this actor because this just wasn't working here.
Yeah.
And the color, I shot it on a rainy day. Why not a sunny day? Wait, I should shoot it at night actually. And then I literally did exactly that. I went back, I replaced two actors. I shot at night at a different location.
And it worked a lot better.
It worked a lot better. Still got no. Still was bad.
Yeah. But you know what? But you learned a lot and you did it again. And by the way, I mean, what's interesting, so I had a different experience, but it was similar. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I had some friends who watched cut
Yeah.
of the movie that we made,
Yeah.
a feature length film. And they saw the movie and they were trying to be
Yeah.
very, very kind.
Mhm.
But they were basically like, if you really want to hear my thoughts, this is not a feature length film. This should be a short film.
Yes.
They're like, there's just not enough here for
Yes.
this to be a feature length film. They're like, we see what you were trying to do, but we kind of feel like maybe you should cut it up and then it could really have a chance.
Yeah.
And they were like, we know this editor, he's really great, and maybe he could cut it up for you. And it's a very interesting experience because these were like very close friends of ours at the
Okay.
time, and
Okay.
also like big producers doing big
Right.
stuff.
Right.
And so I remember I sat down with Dan at the time, and
Mhm.
Dan was like pretty upset because he was like,
Mhm.
that's where, rude. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it is, but like, let's really think about it.
Yeah.
Let's think about it. Like, you're
Yeah.
saying it for a reason.
Yeah.
So we hired this editor,
Yeah.
and the editor did a short version of this feature.
Okay.
And we watched it,
Uh-huh.
and we were like, this is not for us. Like,
Okay,
we
okay.
much prefer
Uh-huh.
the feature length
Yeah.
version
Yeah.
of this movie.
Yeah.
But we like what I mean, based on what you're saying, we tested it out. We were like,
yes,
all right, we
yes.
spent the money,
Yes.
we hired the editor,
Yes.
we made the short.
Yes.
Then we watched the short and we were
Yes.
like, this is not for us.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And then we watched our feature again and we were like, we like this. And then
Yes.
we sold that movie to HBO Max. But like, I mean, obviously in that moment, no one knew
Correct.
that was going to happen.
Right.
Right. So there's a lot of self-doubt when you're creating something
Exactly.
and people have feedback and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
maybe what I'm making is just not good enough.
Right.
And obviously they had watched, like a first edit, and that's also hard
Okay.
because people
gonna get
don't
to that.
always see the final, when but you have to send things in a not final way, because if people are going to give you feedback, then you want to maybe input that feedback into the cut. So it's very tough.
Yeah. No. I like almost had like a visceral reaction when you said the first cut, because what I realized I was doing was sending first cuts. Consistently sending first cuts.
Yeah.
And right now
Yes.
I'm dealing with the ramifications of sending in a first cut on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
So it's to come back to it, I made the second version. It wasn't that it was bad, it just didn't get much traction. What I did do was start dialing back, sending it out to so many people.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me start honing my skills.
Yeah.
Send it to some buyers every time I come out with a version, every 6 months. But for the most part, like, I'm just gonna kind of keep it to the back burner. Ended up joining a talk show. I'm sure some people are familiar with it. It was on Amazon for a couple of years ago.
Well, tell us the name.
Michelle and Kyle, the morning show.
Yes.
It was the morning show with Michelle and Kyle. It was
Yes. Love it.
fantastic. Shout out to Michelle Murad and
I love the show.
and Andy Waldman.
I was on it.
You were on it. It was an amazing time. And so right before they booked me on the show, I had shot a short. But this time it was my good friend Dan, your husband, loaned me his camera to shoot with 2 days. He was like, you know what? I read your script. I like it. Because that's another thing with, like, we're talking about a lot of no's, but there's also a lot of yeses, and you have to remember those.
Yeah.
like we tend to forget that one yes we got after the 4 no's. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
what about that one person that loved it? And what do they like about it? Maybe I'll just accentuate that, and that will take care of the no's.
Yeah.
They were like, put your short on in a festival. So I did. The festival loved it. It won. And there were some people at the festival that had seen the short. And this is 4 shorts later, and it ended up winning a festival. And there were some people in the audience that had seen the short and were like, hey, we actually think you'd be the right person to film our feature.
Amazing.
And I was like, and this happened that night. Like I had
That's incredible.
not even gotten home from the award show.
I love that.
And we took dinner, and we were like basically signed on right then and there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to deep dive into your feature in a second.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go back a little bit to what you were saying about first cuts, because I've had this experience too.
Yes.
And it's really interesting because a lot of people don't know how to watch a first cut. So and that's not to say, by the way, sometimes people's feedback can be true. Like, I think you're right. Like, you have to really take it in and figure out what makes sense to you. But like,
That's the point.
Right. We've had movies that we've shared with actors. I think we've actually learned we should never be sharing it with the actors.
No. Yeah.
Because it's, by the way, and it's weird because I am an actor.
Yes, me too. Right.
But when I'm producing something, I feel like I've learned over the years how to separate myself as the actor and like put on my producer brain, because like my actor self is a lot more self-conscious. My actor self is worrying about, like the sound isn't right and the color's not good and my face looks chubby and that's with my actor brain. My producer brain is like, does the scene work? I know we can fix the sound. I know we can fix the color. I know we can so I'm not worrying about those things. But I've had a lot of experiences where I share the cut with an actor and they just like,
They lose it.
yeah. And they are not seeing the vision for the final product at all.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, why would I do that? And it's because I thought that I was like getting them involved that it would be like some sort of like fun experience and we would like have some good feedback. But instead, it's like they hyper focus on the things that are not worth focusing on because I know those are things that are going to get solved that are not the problem. And so it's very frustrating. So
how do you deal with
I don't know. Well, I think from now on, I'm probably just, this is really good. I'm just not going to do it. I mean, it's funny because as an independent film, you're so much more intertwined with your crew and your cast, right? Like if you're a studio film, then your cast doesn't see the movie until the movie premieres.
Precisely.
Like,
and then
unless
meet the producers.
They don't even they just literally they show up and then they're like, oh, I guess I'm not in the movie anymore. Or whatever. They don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not saying that that's nice. I think it's like people should be called for stuff like that, but it's like it is a completely different experience. You show up and you have no sense for how much you're in the movie or what your like role ends up being or how it looks or what scene made it or didn't or
But what's interesting that you say that is that when they get there, it's a finished product, so there's nothing they can say.
There's nothing they can say.
That's the thing, right? Like,
and there's no feedback to be had because it's like, this is it.
It's done.
It's done.
Right.
So whatever you think, tough shit.
You know what I mean? And that's something that actually benefits the producer that I don't think I have learned yet. Because even with this feature that we'll get into, I get excited. The producer in me gets excited, and I'm like, well, if I show the rough draft, everyone will understand what it'll be like when I'm done.
Yeah. No one. Yeah.
No one. Not a soul understands what it's going to be, and it's like, well, I wouldn't say a soul because I've had some amazing producers, and my team included, come in and truthfully understand, like, hey, like, you got to this point, like, just. You just have to like cut the spat out and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So shout out to the team. They've been like super supportive in that. It's tough because they were so new. My team was so like they were just some guys who really wanted to make a film.
So let me ask you a question. So let's deep dive into this. So they were at the film festival. They had never made a film. Had they made it before?
Yes. Okay. They had made films before. Okay. They were like, I would call them like movie buffs, and they were really adamant and passionate about film. And I had, from my understanding, they had done 1 or 2 shorts prior to me.
They saw your short.
Yeah.
They loved it. They were like, "You're the guy for the job.
Right.
Do you want to direct this feature?" And you were like, "Yes."
So they showed me a clip.
Okay.
They had shot like a just a 2-minute clip of them driving a car with like one light on inside the car, and I was like, I get it.
Okay.
I just got it. I was like, is this Blade meets Shaun of the Dead? And they were like, yes.
Oh, nice.
And we just were off to the races.
And this was how long ago?
This was the beginning of 24.
Okay.
You know, we were trying to figure out like, how do we do this between the 3 of us?
Yeah.
It was me and 2 brothers.
And those brothers wrote it.
They wrote it.
Okay.
They wrote a 165-page.
Oh, wow. So what they gave it to you was 165 pages.
Well, yeah, they were like, well, it's 165 pages, but like, obviously we need to switch it down. And I'm like, this is perfect because there's so much content in the 165. We can we can take it all and just condense it into like a really powerful hour-and-a-half film.
Okay.
And that's what we're still in the case of it. Right now, it's sitting at 148. It's gonna get down to one.
So you already saw it.
I've shown a version in a theater.
Okay.
Yeah, I've shown a rough draft to about 400 people.
Wow.
Hour and 48-minute. So we had a 3 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, and then the 10 o'clock at Regal Cinemas.
Wow.
November.
Okay.
And so that was tough. Artists, get ready because you're gonna have curveballs.
Artists, get ready.
No, honestly, it's like you're gonna set out and like as an artist, and I'm sure you have this too. It's like we set out on our own journeys, and we're now I'm a decade or more into it. You started at a very young age. You were like, when I met you, you were like 21 years old.
Spring chicken.
She's a spring chicken.
Now.
And 2 kids.
2 kids.
You haven't aged a bit.
Thank you.
And
you look the same age too.
Except for the gray. 100%. I get the same. I'm still auditioning.
We're just getting younger over here.
Yeah. So,
The acting career, I just booked a role for like I think he's like 40.
Okay.
He's like 40, and I'm like, I'm almost 40.
it's fine. So I'm shooting
A Vietnam movie in like 3 months, but I'm an actor.
Oh.
But I do want to get back to I want to play like 30s just like one more time before I can't at all.
You will.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, so they come with this script. It's 165 pages.
165.
How long does it take to go through the development process before you start shooting? And how did they have the money already? Do you guys have to raise money? How did that go?
That's a good question. So we did not have the money.
Okay.
We had the actors,
Okay.
some locations,
Okay.
and all the equipment.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So
Pretty good.
yeah, I mean, so he was, we were building a plan. And for those of you who don't know, my background is technically finance. I have a Bachelor of Science in International Business. So I kind of approach producing from a financially responsible standpoint.
Okay.
I was like, how are we going to shoot this for $20,000? Doesn't make any sense. And when you tell someone that, they're like, so you shot like a commercial.
How did you do it?
So he opens his closet and he's just like, he opens this like door and it's just all this equipment, lights, camera.
Well, that's like I have like a whole chapter in this book,
Okay.
but then my whole thing is like, what do you have?
Mm-hmm.
What do you already have
Mhm.
available? Who
Mhm.
can lend you the equipment?
Right.
What locations do you already have?
Yep.
Which actors are willing to come? This is how you have to do it.
Precisely.
There's no other way to do it.
Precisely. So with SAG, I'm a SAG actor, and we had an Oscar winner in the film.
Amazing.
We had
Who?
E.G. Daly.
Okay.
She has a 10-minute scene. She was incredible.
Okay.
When I was shooting her, first of all, I'm like nervous as a director, which I'm never nervous as a director. But when I was shooting her, I was actually nervous. I'm like, oh my God, and it's funny because what you forget is that like an amazing actor takes all the pressure off of you.
Yeah.
It doesn't put more on you.
No, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I pressed record, and I was just like, that's all I had to do.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And really, I was just like,
Yeah,
no one, no, everyone's sound moving. Let her do that. Yeah, I don't like it was more of like accommodating her expression and her experience, and she gave an impressive performance. And shout out to Nadia Teichman, Leah Voicey. I mean, we had so many like starlets come up.
Were you acting in it too?
3 or 4 scenes.
Okay.
Really funny stuff.
Okay.
And I wanted to get you in there, but here was the deal: at 20 grand, we couldn't pay any.
Well, I would have done it for free.
Would you? I don't know.
For you,
It
I
was-
would have.
Oh my gosh! Now knowing it, listen,
We may have some pickups, Lena. I have to like.
I'm
ran-
there.
yeah.
I'm
Okay, good.
there. For you, I would.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Because you were, you know, honestly, back in 24, though, I mean, you were busy yourself. I mean, you were,
No, I
you
was
were
really busy. We were
wrapping
promoting the
up a
movie.
film.
Well, I think we
You shooting it
were.
still.
No, we were. I think in 2024 we were in festivals, and then we went in 2025. We went to 250 theaters.
That's right. You were like
Yeah.
in the thick of You, Me, and Her.
Yeah.
It had just released. I mean, 6 months before we started shooting.
Yeah.
But so again, back to the 20 grand. It was like, okay, for SAG, I'm SAG. We have the E.G. Daily. We had, Leah Voicey, a few other SAG actors. If you say 20 grand or under, you can mix non-SAG and SAG together.
Oh, good.
And for you artists out there, when you want to get your friends together and you don't want to do FICOR, you want to get this important actor because he's really great and he's your best friend, but he's SAG, standard 20 grand and you can make it, and SAG will agree. They just don't think you're going to be able to accomplish it. So we were able to, what we paid for were the things we had to. We paid for insurance, locations, food,
Yeah.
and some clothing.
Okay.
A lot of props.
So how many days did you guys shoot?
We probably would shoot like to bring it full circle. So the beginning of 24 we met, we pre-pro'd until mid-April, and then started shooting like one day a month for the next 6 months just to get like the pace, because I think when we would
One day a
shoot,
month. So how many months was it?
we shot for probably like 18 months, but I would say
Wow.
yeah, after the first 6 months of shooting like once a month, because they were very big shoots, to be fair, we would shoot like 20 hours, and everyone needs to rest. We need to talk about how that went, kind of getting our bearings. But once January of 25 hit, we started shooting about 3-4 times a week.
As a starting point, it was like 18 days if it was a year and a half.
Yeah, but I would say we shot like 40 days.
Wow.
Yeah, we probably shot 40 to 50 days.
I don't think a scheduling nightmare. Was it a scheduling
No,
nightmare?
no.
Okay.
Well, because
Ah!
Because you didn't try to fit it into.
I know, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
people look different. Don't you like lose crew members, or how does that work?
didn't lose a single soul.
Wow. Okay. These are
uh,
some very committed people.
That's what I was going to get to. The horror community, shout out to them because they're so dedicated. And if you
Yeah.
really, I think this is why people say make a horror film for your first, because you have a lot of people who are green, enthusiastic. They're not gonna get precious. You
Yeah.
know, I'm sorry to say, actors, I love you. I'm one of you. You know, as soon as we get that big role, all of a sudden we need 4 bottles of, Evian, the big one, not the small one, and the right cupcake from Lala and all that. Like it wasn't like that. It was like even the lead actors. I mean, again, shout out to some of these big names, but we're just down. Like Nadia is booked. Leah is booked. They work on other films and they came on for free, and we were shooting a scene and Nadia had a fake tongue. It fell on the ground. She picked it up and put it, like, we washed it off. But she was just a trooper, staying until 3:00 in the morning to get shots for free is just something I was just shocked by, honestly. I was just like, these people there's 110 actors in this film.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big production.
It was big.
Damn.
We had 17 locations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys, for
Yeah.
20 grand,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
45 technical scenes. I mean, we shift
Wow.
to a new location 45 times in an hour. 45
Did you have
minutes.
a obviously good sound person?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Because
So I
that's
fixed the sound.
okay. Yeah.
Get your set. Listen. your
Sound
most
is
of-
like the biggest thing. I
it's-
feel like.
we think about visual. I would say 80% of your experience is sound.
Yeah.
To be
It
honest.
is. Yeah. I think like the most expensive person on the crew
Yeah.
sometimes should be the sound
It should be, honestly. And
Ah.
I remember, this is funny. I'm not going to call anyone out, but I've been on sets and we'll all be hanging out. Everyone's cool, chill, relaxed. But the sound guy's like got this attitude.
Yeah.
What's with him? And it's happened on like 4 or 5 sets. And I'm like,
yeah.
what's up? His bum. Like, what's the deal? And he's not mad, but he's kind of like a chef. Like he has
Yeah.
that attitude of like, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But then you get to, and you realize,
But
like,
then you get to post and you're like, damn, I needed that sound guy. Ah!
2 of them actually, like,
yeah.
he knew he was the most important person on that set.
Yeah.
We didn't know it yet. He knew it. So we're just still it's a learning process, right?
So what's the status now? So
Yeah.
you shot the movie. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We finished in October.
You have obviously a full cut of the film.
Yeah.
And then you're saying you showed it in an audience. So did you show it for feedback or did you show it? What was or was it at a festival or what was the?
Right. So before, like, I was like, artists, get ready for your curveball. So for my curveball, my learning lesson in the last year, because I showed a short and the festival loved it, they were like, "Hey, you're awesome. We loved your short. We know your feature is going to be just as good. We're just gonna give you at least an easy, like submit it, and we will definitely
Like we're keeping
see
an
it.
eye on it. Yeah.
Keeping an eye on it. We were shooting. I mean, we hadn't shot much when they told me this, so we had 1 year. Basically, I had 1 year to do about 38 scenes. I remember that was about it. We had shot 7 scenes when they told me, "Hey, we're going to put your movie in a festival in a year." So I was like, "Okay." So I tell the team we got to shoot 38 scenes in 1 year
Oh wow.
and edit it and have it completed for this time. That was the curveball. That was a mistake, but it was a rough draft. I edited while we shot. We shot up until October 19th. The festival was November 8th.
So wait, so you showed it at a festival?
Yeah. 3 weeks
But
after we were done shooting.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how did it go?
It went well.
Would you do that again?
No.
Okay. So what did you learn from doing that? Because that's actually I think that's a very interesting conversation because
Yeah.
me and Dan have talked a lot about like when should we go to a festival and
Uh-huh.
why?
Yeah.
And like, sometimes we've had this experience of like, oh, we think this would be a South by Southwest movie, for example.
Uh-huh.
But we'd have to wait 8 months.
Right.
And it feels like too long
Yeah,
to wait. It
yeah.
feels like we kind of kill momentum or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But then I've known other people who have waited a year,
Yeah.
to get into Sundance
Yeah.
or whatever. But it's hard because it's like you wait for a year and then let's say you don't get it.
Right.
And then
What if
you apply to the next big one, you don't get it.
Right.
And they apply, then you just that like 2 years have gone by.
Right.
On the other hand, though, if you get into a small one,
Yes.
then you kind of kill your shot at the bigger one because you have
Yeah.
to have a premiere. You have to have a world premiere.
Yeah.
So it's a really hard thing to figure out. So how did you decide to do this and what does it mean for the film now with other festivals?
So the reason why I said I wouldn't do it again is because it wasn't done. It was
Yeah.
3 weeks after we were done shooting,
Yeah.
and I thought it was very impressive to show people that what we had after 3 weeks of shooting.
Yeah.
But like what I didn't understand is I can conceptualize that whole environment and situation.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Yeah.
But I think the producer in me is like, "Hey, everyone understands this. Check it out. Check out our rough draft." And everyone's like, "That's not good." And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's a rough draft." And,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "But like the sound's on." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's a rough draft." And I found myself saying it 52 times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, this was a mistake."
Yeah.
And like certain producers really understood it and they really bit in. I mean, I've already had an offer to direct another thing based off of this rough draft. So
That's amazing.
would I do it again?
That's
No.
great.
Yeah. Would I do it again? No. But was it the right decision? Yeah. And this is one of my curveballs. Like, I don't even know which way is up or down, which way is right or wrong. There is none. You kind of are throwing paint at a canvas and then moving forward.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, this is success. What's that story about it's an Eastern story about a guy where like a misfortune happens to him and he sees the good in it, and then a fortunistic thing happens to him and he sees the bad in it, because he's always keeping it level, he's always keeping it balanced.
Yeah.
So when something good happens, something bad's coming. When something bad happens, something good is coming.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just trying to do that right now as a filmmaker, because good and bad came from this festival.
So are you guys gonna go to another festival or not?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to submit it to a lot more festivals. The point
Okay.
is that I'm editing it now,
Okay, yeah.
and it's looking great.
It's completely different.
Oh my god, it's so different. It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's clean. There's no. I mean,
Have you guys done a test screening yet or no?
that was my test screening, but I didn't tell anyone.
Well, like, here's the thing though about a test screen, or my experience at
Yeah.
most with a test screening, that's been super, super helpful.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you did this, but when we've done our test screenings, we've handed out questionnaires. And so that has been enormous for us because then we get very specific feedback and we ask very specific questions.
I was at one of those.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
I think was it for the best people or was it for single mother? We've done it a few times.
No, it was single mother.
Yeah,
It was
we've
single
done
mother,
we've done
yes.
it for every movie we've made, but it's
To me,
Yeah.
a test screening has been kind of like one of the most interesting things that we do because
Yeah.
we think things are working
Right.
and it's very different to get individual feedback.
Yes.
Like, for example, with the best people, when we did our test screening there, something like 80% of people, 80% hated the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember this.
and then we
actually.
reshot the beginning, but we
That's
were like,
right,
that was
that's
so confused
right.
because I was like, what? Why?
I
Like
re-
I thought it was great.
That's right.
But then it was
yeah.
like, wait, 80% is a lot.
That's
You
a
know?
lot.
I was like, wait a minute.
4 out of 5.
I was like, let's really sit down with this.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so what's interesting about a test screening is that if you have enough people,
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
like if enough people are giving the same feedback,
Right.
then it's really worth looking at. If
Mhm.
something's like a one-off, it's like, all right, well, that's one person's opinion. I have to really check in and see if I agree.
Right.
Right.
But so I don't know. That's just something that could be really interesting. But I don't know if you're past that point.
Well, it was a funny point for me because I had that point, but I knew it was coming. I saw it. I knew the dialogue was off.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
months before. I was like, yeah, the dialogue is a little jank. Like we need to work on it. And
Yeah.
right now, I need to actually make the film. Like I had the footage. There's no film. No one makes it if I don't put this clip to that clip, and we don't have a film. So most of the time was taken up actually building the film, and I had hired some guys to try to fix and they tried their best. I mean, how much can you do for an hour and 40-minute film with 2 months, 3 months, So
Yeah.
we tried our best. But going into the festival, I knew the dialogue was off.
Yeah.
And then that was the feedback. It was like, hey, everyone was like, the dialogue, I couldn't really, it was like, it was in and out, couldn't really hear. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
And now it looks weird because it's like, well, if you know, why did you put it up there?
Yeah.
And so it was a very weird
checkpoint with my team because I was like, wait, if I just like
have I thrown people off?
Yeah.
Being that eager or enthusiastic producer to be like, guys, check out a rough draft, check out where we're headed,
Yeah.
and everyone's thinking that's where
that's where we're going. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think when people just saw, oh, this movie's not going to work because the sound's not going to work.
Yeah, because
I think sometimes when there's like an issue like that, people can't see beyond that issue.
exactly.
So it's
Right.
like, it's hard, like, for example, when we do a test screening, it's like the sound is mostly done.
Yeah.
So it's like people are not worried about the sound. So then we're asking story questions.
Right.
And if like people are focused on, I couldn't hear that,
Right.
then it's almost like they can't think about the story because they're just like, well, I couldn't hear that.
Technically,
Or whatever.
yeah.
Technical stuff, I think,
Tech-
can like stop you from
yes,
like fully immersing into the story.
learning experience.
Yeah.
And again, being the train doesn't mean just plowing your way through the snow or the forest. It also means like making sure your tracks are set, making sure your team is right, make sure you have enough coal, and
Yeah.
and also learning from your mistakes. So yeah, I mean, I've been saying it 100 times. I'll say it again. Like, what I should have done a test screening with a small amount of people.
Yeah.
Cut the festival. Been like, we're waiting a year.
Yeah.
Patience. Not rushed it. But I was like, guys, we got an hour and 48 in the can. It's a
Yeah.
rough draft. Let's just put it in theaters.
yeah.
So then we go around, spend $3,000. I mean,
One of my producers was also very excited, so he just like, we just drummed up $3,000, paid for a DCP, and it's a rough draft DCP that we just spent $3,000 on.
Yeah.
And I'm sharing all this just for the artists out there. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. And also, you got a job offer.
I got a job offer.
Not
you know,
terrible.
Not terrible. Not
Considering.
terrible. Actually,
Regarding that job offer, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
the offer was I was appreciative of the offer. I was really
Yeah.
thankful for their
Interest.
their
Yeah.
interest. Yeah, I was and it wasn't exactly. I'm not sure if you can't say yes to everything, but
Yeah.
it was a great gesture.
And so let me ask you a question because I think this is something that a lot of artists deal with is moments where you're like, I can't do this anymore. So obviously you had a long career. You've been doing this for a long time.
Have you had moments like this? And in those moments,
What do you do to keep going or to stay creative? Like, how do you, because there is so much no, and there is so much projection, and there is so much.
I think most of us are like, what are we doing every once in a while? Well, what on earth have I decided to do with my life and why?
why
And
not?
like,
Yeah.
how do you like push?
Through those thoughts to
Mhm.
keep going, what helps you?
Believe, truly.
But how do you build up the belief
Yeah.
if you lose it?
Yeah.
I mean, and do you lose it sometimes?
Number one, a lot of artists, and I'm not at this point, but when I listen to artists that are way further than I am, sometimes I hear like, oh, I'm this way and I do this. And I'm like, that doesn't help me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not that way. So me personally, I am, my friends will say this, I am a machine.
Yeah.
I definitely can, you can give me a billion no's. I'm just going to wait for the next answer.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. And I understand not a lot of people are like that. You know, it's just, I'm grateful that that's one of the gifts I've been given to just, essentially not take the no to heart.
Yeah.
You know, if someone tells me no, it's not no, you can't do this. It's no, they don't want to do this, not me.
Yeah.
The casting director tells me I'm not right for the role. They don't think I'm right for the role.
Yeah.
I personally think this would work greater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, but and by the way, I am like you in the
Yeah.
sense that like I'm a very big believer that most things are not personal. So like most of the time, and not always, but most of the time, I'm
Yes,
like
yes,
if
yes.
someone's like a real B,
Yes,
I'm like, well, that was about them. That wasn't about me. Or like if someone's mean to me, I'm like, well, they're not having a day.
Correct.
Like I didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying?
You need
But-
a
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
I still though do have moments where I'm like, is this gonna work?
Yes, yes.
Because I've invested so much time and energy into what I'm doing. And I'm like, when and I've been successful in a
Mhm.
lot of ways.
Mhm.
And I wish I was way more successful than I am.
Right.
And I think all artists feel this way.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's like how in those moments where I'm like, when is this gonna take off the way I have visioned?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, what's the timeline for that? Like, how do you keep going when you feel far from it?
Yeah.
And do you ever feel that way?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, as you were asking me the question, it hit me. I was like, I think I'm perpetually in that state.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think I'm ever. You're never like, oh, I made it.
Yeah.
You know, and have you ever seen Birdman? With
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Naomi Watts is a beautiful moment where she's like, why don't I feel like I made it? And she's like the lead in a Broadway act in a Broadway show.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really amazing, smart satire comedy to show. Like, I think that's just part of the actor. Like,
Yeah.
I thought to myself in a very extra, like out of body experience, what kind of a way? I was like, if I thought I made it, I would be done.
Yeah.
Like if I was ever at the location or at the destination that I want to get to,
Yeah.
what's next?
Yeah.
And so I think, and that's the true hell for me is like, if I didn't know what I wanted to do next would be the problem.
Yeah.
That's when I would, if I didn't have any more fire in me, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's when I would panic when I'm having some kind of reaction. When the world is having some kind of reaction, I'm like, well, we're still in the,
We'll keep working through it.
we'll keep working through it. I mean, to be honest, it's like you have to almost be in love with the, am I going to make it? Like you want to stay right. That's
You're
your
like
Goldilocks zone.
you're checking your own journey. You're like I'm in it for the long haul. I'm
Yes.
rooting for you.
You know?
I'm right here. Is he gonna make it or
Yes.
not?
Yes. And you know what? Right before that connect of the ball for baseball players, right before that's like that pitcher releases the pitch, that's what they're truly living for.
Yeah.
You know, when the ball's out of the park, he just wants to hit another one.
Yeah.
He's not like, oh, great, I'm done. Like and I think for artists, and I think we've touched on something actually pretty profound for myself while I was on top of like, it's that Goldilocks zone of like, am I going to do this? Am I going to make it? Is this going to be good? Like that's that right there. Stay there.
Yeah.
You don't want to go past there because what is beyond that? Truly not much.
Well, what's interesting for me at least is I feel I've had these moments in my career
Mhm.
where I'm like, this is it. This is the moment
Yes.
that I've been waiting for my whole life.
I want to
It's right now.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I'm in it.
Yeah.
And it's been incredible
Yes.
and so exciting and so much adrenaline.
Mhm.
And then the waking up in the aftermath of whatever that moment is. What's so interesting is you just kind of start all over again.
Yeah.
And so it's like all of that
Yeah.
doesn't just stay.
Yes.
It's like this is the moment. It's so much adrenaline. What are we doing? Oh my god, we're into it. Oh my god, I'm doing press. I'm in New York. And then it's like all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, and now
You're right for one.
what's next?
Yes.
And I have no idea.
Precisely.
And I'm like, and now who am I?
Right. Who am I now? Another existential
Oh my
crisis.
God.
rev it up. So,
Whoa.
and again, let's go back to the point of like,
I made it. Like, okay, I'm in LA. I drove here. I knew no one. Fast forward 4 years, offer for General Hospital from a play. I mean, every actor dreams of doing a play and someone seeing how special they are and just offering them a role. And I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
And guess what I did next? Right after that, I was like, oh my God, I have lines to learn. Wait, what day is it? How long do I have? What do I have to wear? Like, you start, and it's just like, you're back at it. Like, you made it great. Now you have a whole new, brand new bag of issues and responsibilities.
Yeah.
And so,
That's true.
you know what I
And
mean?
there is actually a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
That's
like,
an interesting thing
you're
that you're
probably
bringing
just
up.
began. Like whatever
Well,
part
yeah.
you want to get to,
you got the movie, great. You don't even understand the level of stress you're about that.
Yeah, that's
are you
true.
joking?
Well, it's
You
funny
thought you
because-
stressed to get it? Good
Yeah.
luck. Like,
Yeah, no, it's true. And it's funny because even like in our last film, that was like the most expensive film we've made, the level, thank you, but the level of responsibility was a lot higher. The amount of people we had to deal with, the amount of like social, emotional, like navigating us people was completely different.
You went international, didn't you?
Yeah, we also went internationally. I mean, but like, and then on the other side of it, so we went to 250 theaters. Then we sold it to Stars, and that was amazing. And now it's like, it's interesting because there is this part of me that's like, well, now whatever I do next, how am I supposed to beat that?
Exactly.
And it's like, that's also overwhelming.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Overwhelming.
But I'm trying so hard to be like, let all of that go.
Yes.
And go to just like your fun creative state.
Yeah.
But it's hard because you build up this responsibility of like who you are and what you made and what the next thing is that then you're somehow tied to that brings all this like stress and pressure.
Again and again and again. And then you're like, I was at one of your community stand-ups and you were like talking about wanting a baby
Yeah.
and how it's so hard
Yeah.
and crazy. And like, I want to do it again. You know what I mean?
and it's kind of like the artist journey. Like you're like that was like painful.
That was
and
awful.
sad. I miss some of the people I used to work with, and we don't talk. But like, I want to do this again.
Yeah.
All from scratch.
Yeah.
And like you're like,
It
what's
is a
wrong with
lot
me?
like that. What's
You
wrong
know?
with me? Why do I
What's
want to
wrong
do
with
this
me?
again?
You know what I mean? And so like at the end, so for the artist, it's like, listen,
And you're doing a TED Talk soon. So you're gonna have a bunch of people like wanting to understand things about you and your way of thinking. And just I guess what I'm trying to say for the artists, for the ones that want to be the train, it's you gotta be in love with life. And life is not just sprinkles. Like when you're trying to do it and you're like, wait, is this gonna be good? And I was saying before, that's where you want to stay. Like questioning yourself. Am I good? Am I not? That's life right there. Once you know you're good, once everyone tells you you're good, you're only gonna think to yourself, am I though? Or am I that good? Can I keep this up?
Yeah.
There's always levels of stress in life. There's no happiness without, sadness kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So as
there's
an
a
artist-
balance. But I love what you just said. I just want to repeat.
yeah,
You got to be in love with life.
yeah,
I think that's very profound. I think that's very hard as an artist.
Yeah.
Or not that it's hard, it's that almost like we forget. It's like we chose to do this
Right.
because
Right.
some part of us is in love with life.
Yeah.
That's why we want to observe other people.
Yeah.
That's why we want to tell stories.
Yeah.
Because we are in love with what it's like to be alive.
Right.
And we're curious about it.
Right.
And that makes us storytellers.
Exactly.
And then at the same time, when we're in our own kind of like self-doubt, it's really hard to remember that's actually the fuel. That's what makes us artists.
Exactly.
It's because we self-doubt, we ask questions, we ask the right questions, we start telling stories.
Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better. Honestly. No, sure. I definitely am in love with the process. As you are.
Okay, so my last question to you
Yes.
is what is some advice you would give to other filmmakers out there right now who are wanting to direct their first feature or actors who are wanting to direct their own stuff?
Yeah.
Like what is something you think would have been really useful for you to know?
Your team, they're your most precious asset. And I knew that at the beginning. However, you also want to, be prepared for, they're people, right? And so the good and the bad, just like with art, you're going to get rejected sometimes. Sometimes you're going to get a yes. You know, and where I'm at right now, just give your artist the space to um do their thing, and yeah, stay true to yourself. And what I'm really trying to say for advice, I'm trying to put this in like a nutshell. Be prepared for not all sunshine and rainbows, and that's no. That sounds super dark, but like I mean, like you gotta have fun with it all. Have fun with the hard parts of it. Have fun with the parts where it's like, well, we're dead in the water. No, you're not. No, you're not. This is expected. We're supposed to be at this point right now. We're supposed to feel like we're dead in the water. Keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Do not take no for an answer.
And I think to add to that, I think interpersonal relationships are actually a really big part for me.
Okay.
And that's really interesting because I think people don't talk about that part so much.
Yeah.
There's so much talk about the storytelling and about the angles and the vision and the lighting and but people don't talk about the fact that you're like a full-time therapist. Like, and
Full-time.
yeah, it's like with everyone, and
Full-time.
everyone is with you too. It's like there's
Yeah.
so much intrapersonal relationship dynamics to deal with because you have to trust every single person in your team.
Yeah.
They have to trust you.
Yeah.
Communication has to be clear.
And thank
You have to be on
God.
the same
Page,
Thank
it's
God
a
we were
lot.
so close. I mean,
Yeah.
I was so thankful.
Of the connection that we had, and I realized like maybe like 4 months in, I was like, this is just a group project because I never directed a feature before, so I'm like, I got to do this, I got to do that, and like before you even get the camera on, you're like, man, I hope like they were almost like my brothers in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just wanted to support them in every way, and you that was the biggest thing that hit me from this project was just how close I got to everybody, and you understand how that is what really makes a film well is when you're in a real synergy with everyone on set. That's what counts.
Yeah.
And thank you to all 110 actors as well because they made the film.
Tell me the name of the movie,
Yes.
where people can find you,
Yes.
and where people can find the movie.
What Evil Fears is the name of the title of the one I directed. The Tunnel is the one I'm about to act in. It's a Vietnam film, so look out for that as well. You can find me at Kyle_.t, or just type in Kyle Trueblood on Instagram. It'll pop me up. You'll see me there. And yeah, email me if you have any questions at Kyle@trueblood@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you
course.
for coming.